you, Tom. So how do you like the music that is played in the monorail shuttles this year? Do you like it? Yoo-hoo! Wow. The producer who made this music used such a mixer to tune it. The mixer is the power to control for music producers. You can tune the speed, you can add feature effects, and you can scale each volume for each channel individually. And Plesk is the mixer for WebOps. It gives them the power to control their websites and web apps. In this talk, you will learn 3 things. First, what WebOps means. Second, why Docker is a game changer and how you can monetize it. And third, you get an outlook about the future of Plesk. Now, what is a WebOps actually? To explain that, let's go back to Devops first. We could look up now what Wikipedia says, but actually, reading definitions from a slide, come on, that's boring. Let's describe it. Werner Vogels is the CTO of Amazon.com. I'm sure you know them all. And he said this legendary phrase back in 2006 about how things run at Amazon. And that describes, from my point of view, the core principles of DevOps best. He said, you build it, you run it. DevOps is primarily a culture of collaboration and communication between software development, quality assurance, and IT operations. And often, you have a target conflicts between these different teams. For example, a software developer wants to release very frequently and often, fast. Quality assurance, they want to make sure that there are no major bugs in the release. And operations, they want to keep everything stable. And every change is always a risk for new bugs and for new instabilities. And DevOps helps to work in a team with shared targets. And DevOps follows the conceptual comms framework for the integration of development and operation groups and functions and systems within an organization. And the acronym stands for culture, automation, lean, measurement, and sharing, and leads to a continuous rapid release cycle with strong early feedback. We could talk now about an hour about DevOps and what it all is, but that would be an own talk. So if you're interested, just grab me later, and we can discuss that with a beer. And DevOps is often about continuously delivering small changes without breaking shit, with the help of automation. If you look, for example, like a company like Zalando, they release 150 times a day productively. And measure directly the conversion rate, if it improves the conversion rate or not, and choose for the right features. And did you know, based on a survey that was done by RightScale 2 months ago, the adoption of DevOps increased from 66% in 2015 to 74% in 2016. And in big companies, it's even more. It's 81%, and some statistics even speak about 88% of adoption rate of DevOps. And I mentioned that Plesk is the perfect tool for WebOps, but what is WebOps then actually? Well, WebOps is actually a subset of the larger DevOps movement and follows the same core principles and focuses on the deployment, security, maintenance, and tuning of web-based applications and systems. And DevOps, and so does WebOps, change the way how we think now about infrastructure. The DevOps movement required a completely new way of managing applications. Developers on the one side, they think about their applications. System administrators on the other side, they think about servers. And a developer, honestly, a developer doesn't care if the server runs or not. A developer cares about if his application is online and about the throughput. And he cares about the page response time, if it's for the end user below 2 seconds. Because otherwise, he's losing customers and visitors. And so Docker changed completely the way how we think about infrastructure, because it changes the perspective from server-centric to application-centric. And it's probably the most talked about infrastructure technology of 2015. There are tons of new businesses currently starting and growing up with Docker. But how did they actually do it? Well, container technology isn't new. We all know that. You all know Virtuoso, OpenVZ, LXC, or even Sun Solaris zones. But they all focused primarily on virtualizing servers. So dividing a big server into smaller virtualized servers. And Docker is different here. Under the hood, it works like LXC, C groups, namespaces, and so on, technically. But in the end, you do not talk about servers anymore. You talk about apps, your apps. You talk about anything that fits into a container can run everywhere. And thus, Docker solved a very important aspect. And the usage of Docker by developers worldwide has doubled from 13% last year to 27% in just 1 year. And further, 35% of developers plan the usage of Docker. And it's increasing fast. And by the way, next week is the 3rd birthday of Docker. In the past, developers coded their app, and it worked fine on their development machine. And then they deployed it to a production server, and nothing worked fine anymore. And now, who of you developers in that room had or experienced already such a thing? Yeah, I see a lot of hands here. And with Docker, that's different. You can run and test your app locally on your laptop, and you don't have to install a lot of software. You don't have to install directly a MySQL on my machine. But it's there. And if it runs also on other machines, on the production server, since it takes the whole configuration with it. So there are no different operating systems anymore, no Java runtime missing, no incompatible PHP versions, extensions missing, dependencies missing, and all that stuff. The whole configuration is shipped with your app. And so it has everywhere the same environment. And that's frictionless. And I can tell you, developers love it. And so Docker provides some very cool possibilities for developers, because they can ship their app now everywhere on every hardware without risking of breaking everything. It's now easy to deploy several versions of your app in a kind of staging mode. Just imagine you have a customer who wants to try out different versions, layouts of their website. So you host several ones, and you can say, OK, what do you want more, what do you like best? Choose one, keep it. And the one you keep and the other you throw away. And that works seamless. With the next major release of Plesk, which will be released this fall, you cannot only use Plesk as a Docker container directly from the official Docker registry. Now you can even run any Docker-based application on your Plesk-powered server with a few clicks. And some very popular Docker images, just as an example, are Redis, which is an in-memory data store. It's used key value store used for caches, queues, in-memory data store. And MongoDB, which is a widely used NoSQL data store. And there are more than 100,000 Docker images in the Docker registry. And you can all make use of it. And we go even one step further. With the upcoming Plesk release, we'll provide native support of Git as source code management solution. And you can turn your server into a Git repository and create Git repositories on your server and allow other users to push their source code to the server. With that, you can even replace FTP. But even better, you can deploy your app from any Git repository. So you can put your source code into github.com, GitLab, Bitbucket, or whatever you like. And Plesk can automatically, with every source code change that happens with your website, deploy a new version automatically for you. So continuous delivery was never easier than with Plesk. And did you know the Eclipse Foundation reported 2 years ago in May 2014 that Git is now the most popular source code management solution in the world, with over 42.9% of professional software developers stating that Git is their primary source code management solution. In 2015, Stack Overflow made a research and found out that 69% of developers use it as their primary source code management solution, and it's still growing fast. I know a lot of companies that just recently made the switch from Subversion to Git, for example. So it's a really, really good asset, and hosters should offer that. And now we even support more development languages and frameworks out of the box than ever before. We now integrated the support for Ruby, Ruby on Rails, Python, and Django. And besides all these developer tools, we also improved the WordPress Toolkit, which helps you to easily create and manage WordPress sites. And you can even do mass management of WordPress sites. You can update them all at once. And maybe an important aspect for you as hosters about WordPress. WordPress is meanwhile an absolutely must-have for every hoster or cloud service provider, because it's the most popular way of creating websites in the world. More than 26% of all websites worldwide are built with WordPress. And the number, as you can see, is even increasing. And so it's by far the most popular way, or the most popular CMS in the world. And based off all sites that were done with the CMS, WordPress reached already 60%. And with Plesk, you can sell a fantastic out-of-the-box experience to your customers with WordPress. How? You can take any piece of hardware, virtualized cloud services, or bare metal, it doesn't matter, install Plesk, and sell WordPress hosting. And now think about, what is your USP? Why should a web professional buy from you? Here's some examples. Just take WordPress with the Plesk WordPress Toolkit, add some premium functionality, bundle your product, and make money. And use the whole Plesk ecosystem of add-ons to enrich it. And there are tons of more things I'm personally absolutely excited about what we will deliver with the next upcoming Plesk release. And here are just a few examples. And there are way more minor but very valuable improvements. And if you cannot wait for the next major release, then check out our monthly previews. You can find them on our website, plesk.com, or in the Docker registry as Docker image. And this all makes Plesk the leading WebOps platform and control panel to run, automate, and grow applications, websites, and hosting businesses. And today, on March 17th, I'm absolutely thrilled to announce that we also launched a completely new website at plesk.com. And we wouldn't be Plesk if we wouldn't have done that with Plesk 12.5 and with our integrated WordPress toolkit. So check it out. And besides that, I'm also very happy to tell you that Plesk is becoming a standalone company as of now. So we fully focus on making Plesk even better and the best control panel for your websites and apps ever. And additionally, we provide, from now on, free and unlimited support for our partners and retail customers. And now, wake up, your last chance to win a nice gift. A great event here with the World Hosting Days is almost over. And so be quick, scan that QR code, and you can win an Apple Watch. It's only valid today. It leads you to a landing page, and one of you in this room will get the Apple Watch. So I give you some seconds. I see a lot of smartphones there. If you don't have a QR code reader right now, take a picture and do it later. It's open until tonight at 12 o'clock. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you need help or want to discuss with us how we can help you, just come by at our booth Z20 or contact me directly. You'll also find the slides from now here on SlideShare. And there's the QR code again. The one important thing to remember for you is Plesk is the power to control your app. Now download the latest version and start building. And while you do that, turn up the volume and feel the power.